5:01, call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Sure. Commissioner Allen, too.
Present.
Commissioner Clucci.
Present.
Commissioner Grace is absent. Commissioner Lozey.
Here.
And Commissioner Salona.
Here. All right, first on the agenda is minutes of the previous meeting on the 11th. Someone had a time to take a look and want to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Seconded, all in favor? Aye. Project updates. Water treatment plant, no, wastewater treatment, is that usually that direction? Wastewater treatment plant?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. So in your package is a copy of the August invoice and the project update through August 12th of 2025. The project is pretty much wrapping up. We're almost done. At the wastewater plant, there's just the aeration propellers that need to be worked on. There's 9 of them. They do 2 a week, so we're about 4 weeks out. Once that's done, they'll be finished with all the construction down there. They'll start to do the punch list items, and that part should wrap up soon. In the pump station section of this, we still have some work to do on Hollis Road, Camden Street, and Washington Street. That's doing some restoration work, some paving work. We've met with the residents to talk about different issues that they have. We've waited the 90 days before the paving gets done, so that there's some time for settlement, but that should be done this fall, and I think we're on schedule with everything, and that's the update.
Great. Any questions? None. All right. Matt, water treatment plants?
Lynn Water and Sewer Commission is in compliance with all federal and state drinking water regulations. The reservoir capacity was at 63.2% as of September 7th. Average for this time of year is approximately 68%. Just as a little side note, the drought task force met this morning, and they are recommending a level 2 drought. Recommending that to the Secretary of Environmental Affairs, so wait for official word from them before we make any moves.
What would that, for us, what does that mean, or for systems?
Well, it's a significant drought. All non-essential outdoor water uses are banned, except for watering of ornamentals and flower gardens with drip irrigation, handheld hose, or watering cans. So,
Okay. Do you know how much rain we got over the last, day and a half?
August we had
Well,
less than an inch.
Less than an inch, but this last storm we just got?
We had, 2.5 inches. Well,
How much is it? How much?
2.5. 2.5 inches of rain we got.
Pretty cool.
The last storm, yeah, that was really good. Yeah. Things in the woods are really dry around the reservoir.
I can tell by my pool water.
Is it shrinking?
It went right to the.
Oh, after it got
Did it
refilled?
spill over?
No.
Okay. Anything else?
no.
No, that's fine. Anthony, CSO update?
Yes, so speaking of the rain we got over the weekend, the stormwater pump station I mentioned last meeting, started up on July 25th. The pump station worked really well over the weekend. I did speak to Sam Sullivan, the plant manager. They didn't have any issues. We're still waiting for the SCADA system to be hooked up so that they can view the way the pump station's running from the plant. They have to go there and check it manually because that's not set up yet. But the pump station worked well.
So it kicked on and
it kicked
did its
on and
thing?
worked, and yeah, so that was a good
That's
news.
good.
Phase 4 and 5, one of the things is that about half of the flow of the pipe separation is going to the plant right now, so that's good that we're getting some good flow to the stormwater pump station, so that it is responding correctly. The crew is installing 48-inch through the GE property. They've got they've installed about 200 feet. There's about 800 left to go. Crews are working on a 15-inch drain on Orchard Street. They're doing restoration work on Western Ave, and the project's moving forward. So it's going pretty well. That's the update.
Okay. Did CSO 6 kick on yesterday?
It did.
It did.
It did,
The
yeah.
one at the
And it's the
beach.
first time it's kicked on since July of last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was long, so we did get a lot of rain.
Yeah.
It's those summer storms when you get the heavy rain on a short period of time that seems to kick that, so that's the type of storm we had this summer, yeah.
It was
Do
only
we-
10 minutes.
What's that?
It was only for 10
Oh, for about
minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
and 6A didn't, just 6.
Just 6. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we assume that it diluted out given the amount of rain that we got for 10 minutes of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. Any questions on CSOs? Nope. Kings Beach updates?
Now we have Eric.
So we've got the final data from the field screening this summer. So we've been laying out plans for this fall, really looking for support from both the commission and potentially at City Hall and Council to help with outreach for dye test canvassing along the Stacy Brook trunk line between Mariana down to Thurgood Marshall, and then kind of in the area around the middle school, because those are the hot spots. In total, we're looking at potentially trying to notify and attempt dye tests on 73 properties, about a third of which have never been attempted before, a third we haven't gotten into, and the rest are kind of either non-responses or were actual refusals. So what we're targeting would be middle of October for up to 3 days of canvassing and appointments should anyone decide to make them, but we want to coordinate with the city so that we can get additional outreach through their communication channels as well as the direct notification of the folks, so that we can try and maximize the efficiency of those 3 days. We try and repeat again in November, those that we can't get into, just so that we can kind of focus on those. The data is indicating there's a high potential for some direct connections still down in that area, so we want to make sure we kind of close the loop on all the properties that haven't been tested yet.
Can you just describe like the process for going to people just, obviously is it during the workday? That you go in?
So what we'd be suggesting is we send out a direct mail to both the physical address and also the property owner, because there's going to be instances where those are not the same. Send that out a couple weeks in advance, offering for them to schedule appointments either during that 3-day window or with Neil and his crew directly, and then letting them know we will be going door to door. Right now we're looking at the 14th, 15th, and 16th, which is the holiday week. It's the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then we would look at doing the door to door and then repeating about a month later. With repeat notification, but potentially with a change in the language in the letter, just because we would have attempted both written and physical attempts that suggesting to the owners that we need a higher attention to getting into those properties so we can help with Kings Beach. Which got to some of the stuff we talked about with Sam last month about the commission's right of entry and right of access to complete those tests.
So when you mentioned about outreach, have you coordinated with the mayor's office?
No, we'd be looking to coordinate that through the commission, just to figure out if that's through Valerie or, so that we get it both on the commission's website, but also City Hall and also at any of the social media channels that they put information out, just to let people know. We have developed a locus map that shows the general area we'd be working, but that would just to be kind of, wouldn't directly identify any of the properties, but then we would be sending out on commission letterhead requests for dye testing access.
So you have more challenge in that area compared to other areas?
No, it's been generally challenging wherever we've attempted. I mean, the canvassing has produced better results than just waiting on people to reply to mail or door hangers, just because you happen to catch more people at home.
So the mail, I'm just curious, the mail that you send out, is that in English,
We've done English and Spanish.
Spanish? Okay. So that, Mr. Chairman, that leads to my question as well, because I'm very curious about some of all of these addresses are in my ward, so I'm very familiar with this. So when you say you went there 3 times from Groveland, there's all Groveland addresses, and there's no answer. how many attempts can you do to say like, we're done, let's go
That
to
would've
a
been-
different approach?
Direct mail and physically visiting the property, so that means they're non-responsive to the notes being left behind too. So we'd attempt again, and then I think we'd have to escalate any of the non-responses to either a targeted letter about reminding them of the rules and regulation of their sewer connections, or coming up with something else that'd be through discussion with others about how to get a response.
Right. So that's where you're going to communicate with the communications director and see what other ways
Yeah,
to.
if there's other things they can do to support the outreach, just to let them know we're gonna be out and this is what we're doing.
Can you, if you communicate with them, can you add me to that communication so I could physically be there as well and maybe try to help with communication? Number two, like the resident refusal, is there a hard refusal on this
Those
or?
no, they were home, but they said they did
No.
not let us gain entry.
Okay,
And that was with a commission staff member and one of our team. So I think some of that unfortunately was due to the kind of I'd say the political climate.
Right.
At the time we were doing the canvassing, there was some concern about, so we would make sure we had a commission vehicle and all badged vehicles so that it was clear, and it might be more of having someone from the city,
right,
might remove some of that anxiety.
all right. And then last but not least, the 150 Essex Street, not previously attempted, is this the last phase of your list, right? Have you not been there
Well,
or?
we've attempted a few kind of on the corner of Porter and Essex, but most of our time has been spent in other areas further up the trunk line. We've had pretty good success along Porter.
Yeah.
Just those handful right there at the corner of Essex.
Okay, if you can add me to your communication,
Yep.
I would like to help out. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks. So question, so in terms of this, your, and this, I'm not sure if this is either for the water sewer or for Eric, but in terms of your escalation of trying to get into the property, so you've tried, you go there, they don't respond, they don't want you to, or they just tell you, no, I won't let you in. So are you gonna send them a letter then at that point, or does it come back to the commission to figure
I
out?
think it would come back more to the commission as to how do you escalate it to the next, because I think that's when you get into right now, these letters are kind of like, help us, help the city with Kings Beach. It's
Yeah.
kind of very
We have like a warning or like a
friendly,
fine?
like you might have to rise up to the level of,
Yeah.
reminding them of the rules and regs and asking them to
Right.
schedule the physical inspection by commission
Right.
staff.
Okay.
So it might be arranging a physical appointment, but
Because I guess, so I'm looking at it and thinking, we started the IDDE program, we're coming up upon 2 years, and we're still trying to get into properties, still have high levels. Is there a sense, I guess, of a plan for, they say no, we're gonna see next month, they said no, or next 6 months, it's no, we can't get in, or like what is the plan to, because some of the levels that you showed in the 6-month report that Anthony shared with us is pretty high.
yeah.
And so
So about a
we're-
third of the ones we're looking at are based on this spring's data. The western portion of Williams Ave has not been attempted in the dye test canvassing before, and there's evidence that that's one of the strong contributors is in that, it's about a 2-block area. Some of the others are just repeated attempts of places we've done canvassing before. So I wouldn't say we've been given, and none of those folks have gotten escalated letters. It's more just been like, help us, call and make an appointment, or we'll be in the neighborhood, and we just haven't connected with people. Is about a third of the addresses.
Because it sounds like I used to get letters from the commission about changing my water meter, every year, and unfortunately, I typically put it aside for a while and until the water meter stopped working, and then I had to get it replaced. So you get these, again, it's like everything else in life, you just get, God, it's another thing, I gotta call this guy about doing that or whatever. But since this is a priority and you really wanna, don't wanna be here a year from now talking about the same type of thing, I just wanna make sure that there is a plan. I mean, Vinny was saying fines or just some other option of getting people's attention.
Yeah, I don't know if Sam, do you have any thoughts on how the commission could elevate?
I thought your comment about the political climate in this city and other cities is well taken. I don't start with the assumption that people don't want to let us in. I start with the assumption that some people are working 2 jobs and aren't home. So I think that ratcheting it up, but ultimately, I think as I said in a prior meeting, the rules and regulations provide that you have a contract. If you're a customer, you have a contract. That contract includes the rules and regulations which say we have entry to your property. If you deny us entry of property and you want to bump it up, ultimately we can shut off your water service. And that'll get people here very quickly.
Mhm.
But whether that's the nuclear option you want to go to at this stage, I think you got to try to ascertain. And it is unfortunate. I'm certain there are going to be some people. I know this from dealing with private clients whose businesses are affected because people are afraid to leave their homes, and so it's difficult. But I wouldn't make a broad assumption that the people who haven't let us in yet are doing it because they refuse to let us in.
No, of the
I think we've got to explore, and so a letter that says that you understand that there are regulations that, because you're a customer and we provide the service, to continue your service, we need to gain entry. I mean, that's the softball version. But ultimately, the rules provide fines and termination of service.
It's only 7 of the 73 were direct refuses. The rest were
Yeah.
not home or.
Oh, totally. I'm,
Or
and
not
again,
attempted.
going back to the thing with your water meter, I guess what I just saying is, can we come up with a plan for that, for how to deal with all these various, you get, the mail comes back, the person's not there, you knock on the door, they're not, which is fine, that happens, especially during the workday. And again, they don't know who you are, they don't know a water sewer commission guy, person, which is fine, like, I don't know, some random guy comes to the door.
We have tried to use the school vacation weeks before too, with the expectation that there might be better attendance at home, just because there might be people around. That definitely seemed to help. Door-to-door canvassing versus mailed letters helped on a number of responses. So I think it might be more of what is all right, we've now made repeated attempts, what is the carrot or stick approach to get the final 20% is always going to be the hardest.
Did you try it on the weekend?
We have not done Saturdays.
That's a good point, right?
Some people might be.
NFL Sunday.
There you go, during the Pats game, it's better than watching that.
It should be like a third letter should be like a warning. After 3 letters, the warning on the 3rd letter.
Yeah, so I mean, I think what we're trying to get at is some kind of plan.
Yeah, no, those are all options on the
That's
table
a
before it
plan.
comes down. to
Right, but just like, okay, 1 strike, 2 strike, 3, we move beyond, just like anything else, you're not paying your bill, or we need to get in there for, a serious reason. I mean, if you've got raw sewage coming out of your pipe, that's a
Yeah,
problem.
we'll start with that email, because I think the approach would be, the city will come in with a letter attached to the Lynn Water letter, signed by the mayor or the ward councillor saying, listen, we need your help to finish this project or else, or something like that. We'll find the language there, and we'll have that meeting with Valerie and go from there. Then if that will not happen, then 3rd strike. Because I think when, it's different when they see a city communication, a sign
No,
with
I
the
think
mayor.
that's also,
Yeah.
if they don't have a lot of, if they're a tenant versus an owner, they might also have a
Correct.
relationship with the commission is.
Correct, because there's a lot of people selling stuff on, door knocking, and so they probably associate us with selling other items.
Sounds reasonable.
Sometimes politicians come around too and knock on your door.
Yeah, they're-
And you
Yeah.
hide under the bed, so it does happen,
Usually Colucci's last name.
All right, anything else on,
No, that was the general plan for this fall, is to try and chip away at the dye testing, and then we'll be back, figure out the additional screening locations for coming back in the
We
spring.
have no timetable for this, right?
this kind of stuff you can ask him.
What's our timetable for this?
We'd like to
considering
try and do
everything.
the dye testing in the middle of October, so we can do it again in the middle of November before the holiday break.
Okay, but if we have everything by middle of October, then we're done.
No. This is just the hot spots that we're.
All right, okay.
And IDD is never done.
It's just always going back for more.
All right.
And lastly, do you have any, before we move off Kings Beach, is any further, either Anthony or Eric, about the UV pilot stuff? it ended, I know, any,
I haven't heard of a timetable of when we're gonna see
okay,
report.
okay, that's fine, just curious. All right, any other questions on that? Kings Beach, nothing, no, okay. All right, under business hiring process for the new executive director, so I wanted to give everyone an update on where we're at with things. The search for the next executive director has been supported by a contract with the UMass Collins Center. As we know, we authorized Dan to enter that contract. We put together a steering committee, which consisted of 2 staff from the Collins Center, myself, Commissioner Grace, and Dan O'Neill. On August 18th, the screening committee met with 5 candidates. They were asked the same set of questions that we developed with the Collins Center. Based on the interviews, the committee recommended 3 candidates be brought before the board for a final interview and decision. You've seen my emails about trying to schedule this. That will take place on Wednesday, September 17th at 4 p.m. We are allocating an hour for each interview, although that entire time may not be needed. The interviews are conducted in public. I'm looking at Sam because he's helped me out with this. After the interviews, the board will meet in public to discuss and vote. Still looking at Sam because that's what he told me today. The Collins Center is going to help develop the questions for the final interviews. They helped us put it together for the other ones. And her name is Mary Collins, she's going to help coordinate that with all of us. So just whatever the final questions are going to be. So you're going to get something on email. So just check your email. I don't know. Do you check your email, Rich?
I do.
Okay, good. So that's.
Can we come up with our own questions?
Yeah, there will be a standard set of questions that we have to ask everybody. And then from those questions, Coco says, you'd be like, oh, Coco, we just went through those questions. Now I want to pick up on something you said, and you can veer off wherever you'd like. But this is for the set of questions that everybody's going to get, just so they get the same ones.
Could you add me to the email?
Is when you say public, Lynn TV would be that?
Yeah, we need to, I don't know if Dale, have you contacted Lynn TV to see if they're available?
Not yet.
Is Seth available?
September 17th, starting at 4 p.m. It's gonna be a little while of a meeting.
I have to look at my work calendar, September 17th, 4 p.m.
Right.
And this is for a meeting here.
It is a meeting here, yep, for the interviews for the director position.
Right now, it looks like I'm available.
All right.
Good.
That's good to know. I plan on ordering food because I'm Italian and I like it.
Good, yeah.
So it may revert to pizza and stuff. So anyways, I can coordinate that with you in case someone has a dietary restriction or prefer
Right.
something else.
Yeah, it's a long day.
Yeah, it is gonna be.
So when you say when we vote, so we will have a new executive director after that meeting? Or they might go to a next,
No, this is where we're gonna select the person, and then we end up going. Sorry, looking at Sam, and then we end up going into more contract negotiations with the individual and their time frame.
right? Right, if somebody we picked that night and then he decided not to continue with it because, some of the contracts might not fit with, what would be the process for that? The number 2 guy would be.
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that.
Right.
Yeah, I can ask.
I think we need to.
Yeah, I will totally ask. Yep. I'm feeding everything to UMass.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not an expert here. And I want to thank Sam. He's been really helpful trying to guide us through this process.
So you don't think at the next meeting would be a better time?
So, some of these people want to, I think, an answer of what they're doing, and I think Dan is also looking to move on. That's why we chose.
Mr. Chair, are you comfortable saying how many internal applicants in that top 3 or outside applicants? Or you don't have to say it?
Well, actually, I just don't even know.
Okay.
because the resumes will be public record.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm staring at Sam. Remove the identifying information, and I was told they become part of the public record. The application is not.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the resume itself is.
Correct.
Can we see those
sorry.
resumes before the 17th?
Which ones?
The 3 applicants. Oh,
Sorry.
cool.
Came in a little late. I know, it's very special. But yes, of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please reach out with questions. Again, it's kind of been, just trying to
Yeah, I just want to
figure this path out. So, yeah. So, anyone have any other questions? No. Okay. Statewide Water Management Act grant. I saw that there was an announcement that came out that it's literally called that, the Statewide Water Management Act grant, that water systems can apply for things related somewhat to IDDE or to outreach and education, various types of stuff. They've got, I think, I can't remember how much, but the grant awards can range up to $600,000. So I was hoping that maybe next week, not to throw something else on next week, but if myself, Anthony, and maybe Eric could put our heads together and anyone else and look at what might be worth applying for, if it is worth applying for.
So I can add a little to this?
Sure, please.
So it looks like there's 2 grants. One of them is for what they call the MS4, which is Municipal Separate Stormwater Storm Systems, and that's, it looks like the range is from a $50,000 to $75,000 grant, and that looks like that's specific to that type of work. And then the one you're mentioning is the Water Management Act grant. And you are correct, it's from 20 to 600,000, looks like there's $1 million worth of. We did receive this, I think it came through the mayor's office. I think Bob, you had received it also and sent it to me. In the past, we've reached out to one of the engineering firms. We've been successful with doing work for the CSO flow monitoring, and we've also had success with the, as you know, the lead and copper rule. So we did reach out to the lead and copper, so we got a pretty good grant for that too, yeah.
Good.
So we did reach out to one of the firms to, that's traditionally what I do is I like to reach out to a firm and say, hey, listen, we got this money, get us the money, we can give you the work. So we kind of approach it that way. So that's sort of in place. We can pull back and not do that but when I saw that, I did move forward and said, hey, there's some money available, so let's try to get it.
Yeah, do you have, do they come back with proposals for it, or?
Yeah, they do. They'll come back with some ideas and what do you think you would like to do with it and what they think is successful to get the money.
Yep.
And they usually give us some ideas and we'll set up a meeting and we'll say, let's go after this. And they said there's a high probability of getting this type of money.
Yep.
So that's usually the process that we go through and then they go after and a lot of times they sort of know where you're gonna get the money for
Yep.
or what they need to say, so.
Yep.
So if that's a path you'd like us to take. we
Yeah, I
can
mean,
do
I would
that.
love just to see if there was a Kings Beach angle, again, just to like build upon
We
everything else
certainly
that's
can-
being done.
We certainly can
You know.
look, push it in that direction a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can look at past awards to see if there's anything that could serve as a good surrogate. Water Management Act might be looking more at things on the water system demand and control side versus if we were discharging to an outstanding resource water or a drinking water resource area, then I think you'd probably be able to make the link a little stronger, but they might look at it and go, not sure how this ties into water usage from the consumption side, but
It is listed as one of the options. They do list it, and maybe that's.
so it might be more of a history to see
Per-
if anyone's connected
Right.
those dots in a past grant.
But I would say, given the amount of effort and kind of collaboration on this work, it might have some legs
Yeah.
to it. Even again, we're not looking to take 600,000 of $1 million, because that's $1 million for the entire state. So it's not
Yeah.
like that's likely to get that much. But if it's something to help out with the outreach efforts you're trying to do, or, you know, farm it out to somebody, whatever. Like, if there's money available, then go for it. But thank you, Anthony, that's good, just like, knowledge, just kind of like how those are handled when you get them. That's good, thank you. Let me see here. I can't remember. No, that's not. I know, right? No, I found
IDD
it.
public.
Sorry.
Yeah.
IDD, public meeting.
Like, what did he do?
I know, seriously. There's gonna be hopefully a public meeting in October, about the IDDE program, that, Apex and Water Sewer Commission has been running on the Lynn side of things. There's been a desire among people in the public to kind of hear what we're doing and, kind of following up to everything that happened with the UV stuff. What else is going on our side? There's a variety of different information that gets shared online, some of it truthful, some of it maybe a little whatever. So just trying to kind of get square where everything is. And again, I mentioned Anthony shared the 6-month reports that you sent to EPA and maybe others, and those were really helpful, taking a look at, give better context, because I know we get the monthly ones, which is kind of like very focused, and this is kind of better. So I think people hearing again about the testing that's going on, the methodical way it's done, and then hearing feedback. Oh, why don't you do this? And you know, people there to answer the questions. It's better than taking snips off of different places online and trying to make things work. So, that was my spiel. Is that something that is doable?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I think most of the forum related to the UV study was, you know, it was more UV centric and standing up the pilot, but we did touch on a lot of those areas and there were people asking questions. So, I mean, I think it's not a problem from our side.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been asked to do this type of forum for other projects. We've done it at City Hall in the council chambers, which is not a bad venue because it's a large area. The councils are familiar, so they can show up and participate if they'd like. We've done that with the CSO in the past. So I think that's a good venue. Also, the technical group there will provide us with if we have to put things on the screen, we need to visual stuff. That's a good resource. It's helpful for that. So I know that Robin. I had some communication with her. She had said that she thinks she can get me a venue, but that would be a good venue because of those reasons. We can do it in other places, but if the council, Coco, if the council can offer that up, that might be a good spot.
100%.
Yeah. And it's got an area where we can sit and an area we can use visuals and put things on the screen and what have you. So if
That's
that
great.
makes sense.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Super.
We also
sorry.
had the presentation that Ray and one of my colleagues gave at the Stormwater Conference in January, so we can use that as kind of a basis just to kind of prime everyone with what's up in the program. We can refresh it for the last 9 months. So we've got it kind of in the can.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. The last thing I have on here is something I've like offhand mentioned a few times with ribbon cutting for new projects. So when the wastewater treatment plant is done, which sounds like 4 weeks plus punch list or whatever, I'd love there to be a formal ribbon cutting or celebration, pastries, coffee perhaps, some kind of food. Yes, that, you know, this took many years, a lot of work. We should celebrate that. Who would be, well, I don't, who at the commission would be best? I don't know, Bob, would that be you? Okay. Because I think we could have a few of them coming up. I mean, I think the pump station, I don't know if you get excited about pump stations. The pump station is pretty cool. I mean, it's a huge project. Again, it just kicked on. It's helping support the whole system. It's good to give ourselves kudos. So, okay. Thanks, Bob. I'll be in touch.
I agree.
Great. Do you have giant scissors, Coco?
Yes.
You must. You go to. I see you in the pay. You're at a lot of these things.
I have a lot,
Tab. Yeah, I figured. Okay, new business. Anything? Nope. All right. Someone make a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Second.
Oh yeah. Good. Thanks. Say all.